So, I mean, then you just kind of have to settle into this new life in the jail, or I was Fed charges, so you get taken off to a federal prison?
Absolutely. Yeah, you definitely, man. Then the cold part about it, my situation is I was in Midland, Texas, and so I was considered a high profile prisoner, right? Because of the music and the deals and stuff like that. And so when they were walking me to court, they would put me in the middle, you know, not walking, but driving, put me driving with a car behind, a car in the front. And they had snipers in the front. They had snipers on top. They had the press and the media across. And so when I got sentenced, they sent me to a immigration jail, bro. At this time, it was, you had ODC and then you had Midland. So I was like the only English-speaking motherfucker in the jail.
Really?
What?
Wow.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
So, I mean, how long were you at that spot, though?
Seems like, man, 2-3 months till they you know, get you set up to go to fucking prison. Then I started in Beaumont. That was my first prison. And then, so like you said, getting used to how that shit went down, because I thought it was just going to be some squabbling.
Right.
And I had already been in state prison, so I knew I wasn't ducking no fights.
But when did you start to realize, like, oh, there's crazy shit happening?
2 weeks later.
2 weeks later.
Within 2 weeks.
And what was the deal in there at the time?
Within 2 weeks, I seen about 2 or 3 people get stabbed.
Really?
And then I was like, why the is they stab? And then when it's two formidable guys, y'all, why ain't squabbling? And so I'm you know, when I started seeing that, I'm like, oh, they just not really fighting in federal prison like that. The motherfucker trying to put that iron on you. So I knew I was somewhere different.
Right. So was your mentality, I'm going to try to stay out of all the politics or everything, or was your mentality like, all right, I guess I got to get a knife and get ready for whatever?
Well, I got my knife the first day.
Oh, someone gave it to you? Or
Yeah. Shout out to ACAR. ACAR, soon as I got off the bus and they were giving me tennis shoes and dudes was giving me watches and you know, stamps as the currency. When we got to my cell, he poured out the blick. He was like, this for you. I'm like, nah, I don't want that. You know, I'm good with these. Because I knew his uncle, Stein. So long story short, I'm like, nah, I don't want that. I'm good on that. But after those 2 weeks, I was like, hey, ACAR, come down to my cell. Let me get one of those and supersize mine, will you? Because I knew I didn't want to stab anybody. Because I knew, you know, I wanted to fight to try to get out of here a little bit, you know what I mean? But I wanted that bitch to be so big that you don't even want to, you like, hold up, you know, if I have to hit you with the mother, you know what I'm saying? But yes, I didn't really want to get with the politics, but I'm a survivor. And, you know, I'm a street nigga, Adam.
Where are you guys keeping your knives?
Yeah. There you go with them fair questions.
Well, I mean, listen, if it's under your mattress, nobody really cares. But we've heard some stories about where the knife might have to go.
You might have, listen, man, don't even worry about it, fellas. I am not finna give it up.
It stays in jail.
Yeah,
those stories stay in jail. It's like Vegas.
I mean, if I'm one of the ones with me is gonna stay in jail. Because the thing, this is how.
Well, you are a Texas gentleman.
Yes, sir. I'm a Texas gentleman. Here's the deal. What happens is, this is how they get hip to the hiding spots. Like this.
Really? Yeah.
See a motherfucker that's no longer going through it. Hey, man, I used to put my shit inside the brick. I had a hole in the wall. And now, so there's some super cop CO never thought of that. He starts checking the bricks, and lo and behold, they still doing that. And so, no. Yeah, we had all kind of spots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. But was there, like, at that time in Texas, just given that this was such a long time ago, I'm just curious about what the dynamic was. Everything was already like fully broken down by race at that time. Was there like gang oriented stuff going on, or was it more just racial
shit
hell
back
yeah.
then? I mean, yeah. What you mean back then? It's right now.
I know how it is kind of right now from just talking to so many people. I'm just wondering about back then.
Right. Yeah. 2006 I went in. So, but it's broken down in gangs, right?
Yeah.
And it's broken. The race thing is real. Yeah. Okay. Especially when I did time in Victorville. I had never seen anything like it. You know, I came out here, did time like, what? I just knew I was going to die. My first 5 years, I was suicidal anyway.
Really?
Yeah. I wanted to kill myself.
Just because
Well-
life felt pointless?
Well, because I never thought I would make it. I knew I wasn't going to tell on nobody. You see what I'm saying? And I knew I wasn't going to comply with anything I didn't want to do. So, and I was just kind of stubborn. I'm like, I ain't finna let y'all make me do all this time. You know what I mean? So I felt like somebody was going to kill me, or if not, I was going to bang a little bit too much heroin and take myself out.
You were doing that while you were in there?
No, but it was prevalent.
But you figured that would be a good way to go.
But was my genius plan. You know, the devil had a veil on my face and wasn't allowing me to see the end.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But you were sober in there?
Sometimes.
Mostly, or you dabbled?
I dabbled.
Okay.
Yeah, with drinking, smoking, and all that type shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you didn't get into the hardcore stuff?
Oh, no, that's not my thing.
But it is I know people who, when they were in there, they did heroin, and then they get out and they would never dream of doing heroin.
Oh, yeah, no, I never done heroin a day in my life. But I knew that if I bang enough of it, it's going to take me out of here.
Yeah.
And that was my genius plan at the time. You know, I even talked it over with my cellie because he was going to have to deal with my body. And he the one really tricked me into waiting until my first appeal was over with.
Really?
And
how many years in is this
3
really going through your head? 3 years in?
Yeah, because my third year I won my first appeal.
Okay, but from the beginning of when you got in there,
was already, it was either I'm going to make y'all kill me. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to do anything I don't want to do. You know what I mean? Because it's real political.
I mean, if you really wanted to die, like, because I've thought about it a little bit, and I can't imagine myself actually like being able to stick a strap in my mouth and pull the trigger. You know, like I just don't think I could do it. But if you're in that environment, like, a lot of people basically kill themselves by like suicide by cop, where they'll just like pull a gun on a cop, boom, the cop kills you.
And that's a good analogy. That's kind of what. That's That's exactly what it is.
The easiest way to die in there is you just got to go over the wrong person. They're gonna kill you.
You don't have to over them, or you could just, it could be, because in the feds it's political. It's a lot of politics, and you could choose not to play. Man, I ain't playing I don't care what you said, because I give you a prime example. In Victorville, the Spanish guys got a hands-off policy, right? Unless you Tango will give you a fade where you can squabble.
But the Mexicans are anti-fade.
Anti-fade, hands-off. It's because it's family. And so if you buck on that, then, that could be it for you. You know what I mean? Or, there are those one-offs and situations to where it happens, and you find out who was in the wrong, somebody gonna get punished. There ain't nobody got to die.
But when you got transferred to Victorville, did it feel like you were like all of a sudden just learning about California, but you're learning about it in the most fucked up environment possible?
Not really, man. I mean, kind of.
I'm sure there's people from other places and everything.
Well, I had visited like 4 or 5 times.
Oh, okay.
So, but you got to keep in mind, California prison has it has a stigma.
Yeah.
So me coming from Beaumont, and at the time I can't remember, I went to 9 different places. So, but when I got to Victorville, it was all I could think about is all the things that I had heard over the years, and when I saw how it's segregated everywhere, champ. But when you get to Victorville or to y'all California prison, it's super. I'm talking about, it could be a phone right here and line right here and the line right here, and this phone right here empty. I need to use the phone. You can't touch that phone. That's not a black phone. I mean, this shit here was different. When I came in, I had to zigzag all through that motherfucker because can't walk in this area. I walked straight up through, if I'm not mistaken, through the Sereno area, just trying to go right here. And so everybody but what happens is they give you a pass when you first get there because they know you don't know.
Right. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So they're like, hey, bro. But I'm telling before they say hello, hey, champ, you can't go through that area. I'm like, shit, yeah, I just came from that door right through here. Like, no, that's their area, so you got to go around. Like, I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, I thought I was going to die in Victorville for sure.
Really? Of what? Just beef or?
Well, because it was like, at the time, it was like 200 blacks, right? And about 900 Mexicans.
Wow, that big a difference.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, true story. And so I thought that was going to pretty much be it. But when I say that the blacks that were there, from California, from Utah, or wherever they were from, were some cool guys. Man, they met, and I'm thinking, because I'm coming from Texas now, you know, and I'm not affiliated. I'm on Texas time. I thought it was going to, like, you know, I was going to run into it with my own people. Man, they showed me nothing but love.
Really?
And the Spanish guys, too.
Really?
Man, so once I was there, I like, I ain't gonna die here.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? This, you know, because it was just all about respect.
Shout out to our sponsor, Everything 420. They're like the Amazon of smoking gear. They've got vapes, grinders, glass, edibles, flour, and even shrooms. The E420 app makes it super easy to browse and order, and shipping is always fast and discreet. They're always running deals too, so check out the app and use code NOJUMPER for extra money off.